Female leaders are not uncommon in Asia. From Thailand's recently dismissed Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawatra to Indira Gandhi, India's first female prime minister from decades ago, women have occupied the political office across Asia and over its recent history.
Yet they haven't quite broken the glass ceiling for female leaders. And taking a closer look at their background, you will find many come from powerful political families. Certainly names that have been dominating the headlines for years. Well, there's one more young woman who could be joining that very list. It's Kim Jong-un, the daughter of North Korean leader Kim Jong Un, who appeared in Beijing with her father just weeks ago, Teresa.
Yes, CNA's Lim Yun-suk spoke to a North Korean watcher to find out more about the teenager, whom analysts believe could be Kim's designated successor.
The daughter's international debut was in November, I think November 18, 2022, at a very wholesome family outing, an intercontinental ballistic missile launch. It caught everyone's attention because it was the very first time that the North Korean state media revealed to the world that this cute little girl is indeed the Supreme Leader's daughter. I believe, not including the recent trip by the Kim family to Beijing via train, that the daughter has been shown publicly almost 30 times.
In your book, you have a book called The Sister, titled The Sister, and there you wrote that Kim Yo-jong was her father, the late Kim Jong-il's favorite, and yet she was not named the successor because she was a female.
Both North Korea and South Korea are patriarchal, Confucian cultures where male dominance has been the norm over the centuries and millennia. Can we ever expect a female supreme leader to emerge? Many people say it's an impossibility or the people won't accept that. I disagree humbly, because what supersedes such cultural norms and biases is that the supreme leader must be a family member, a direct line, bloodline family member of the state founder, Kim Il-sung. So Kim Yo-jong, Kim Jong-un's sister, is qualified, if you will, to emerge as the next and the first female supreme leader if Kim Jong-un were to exit the political stage today or tomorrow.
Right, because I was just going to ask you, because you seem very confident in a way that she is going to be the next in line. For now. Sure. So what kind of a message do you think that Kim Jong-un is trying to send by bringing her out and taking her to Beijing?
In my view, Kim Jong-un has absolutely nothing to lose by doing this, being frequently seen with his cute daughter in public, and everything to gain. For example, he's projecting to Washington, D.C. and other adversaries, perhaps, the basic message: hello, Mr. Trump, Mr. Biden, or President Lee in South Korea, or whoever might be the next prime minister in Japan. Hello, you will be forgotten in 4 or 5 years. Whereas leaders elected in a democracy, they face this enormous time pressure to chalk up a legacy, to score a policy victory within their term limit. There's sort of a psychological pressure that's at play. It's not just softening up Kim Jong-un's image. It's more instilling in Washington, D.C., in Seoul, and other capitals around the world, the notion that, yes, Kim Jong-un is a loving dad, but Kim Jong-un is also the leader of a country that operates more like a dynasty than a democracy. So they have all the time in the world, and eventually you'll have to accept us as a de facto nuclear weapon state and negotiate from a position of relative weakness, not strength, because you have to deal with us and our nukes.
Yun-suk joins us now from Seoul to discuss this much talked about succession. Hi there, Yun-suk. A female leader in North Korea would be unprecedented, but can you tell us, weren't there rumors Kim had a son as well?
Well, yes, unprecedented, but if North Korea wants to keep it in this bloodline, then there is really not much choice. Now, for some time now, as you said, there had been reports that Kim Jong Un had a son. In fact, the country's spy agency had told lawmakers before that Kim Jong Un likely had 3 children, including a son who's older than Kim Ju-ae, though some reports say could be her younger brother. But so far, none of that has been confirmed by North Korea. Now, with Kim Ju-ae's recent trip to Beijing, the spy agency here is in a way pushing back against talk of that hidden son, and also thinks that Kim Ju-ae could be the likely successor. Now, even, Dr. Lee, who has been studying North Korea for decades, doesn't think there is a son because so far there's been no hints whatsoever from North Korea. So while the rumors of a son could persist, and because there's no way of confirming this, for now, I think the focus is going to be on Kim Ju-ae as being groomed to be the next leader of North Korea.
And Yoon-suk, just one generation ago, Ms. Kim's sister couldn't take on the leadership because she was a woman. But if something would happen to him now, would she still be the one then to become North Korea's first female leader over her niece, perhaps, Kim Ju-ae?
Well, according to Dr. Lee, yes, until Kim Ju-ae becomes an adult. Because, if something was to happen to Kim Jong Un right away, Kim Ju-ae is only, 12 or 13 years old, and she will be just too young to control the North Korean regime. So until then her aunt, the powerful sister Kim Yo-jong, could take over the leadership. But according to Dr. Lee Sung-yoon, Kim Yo-jong is really the brain behind the family even now. And in fact, he says, when her father Kim Jong-il was alive, he once told a Russian envoy that Kim Yo-jong was the smartest of all his children, but she couldn't take on that leadership after he died because she was a female, and there was the son, Kim Jong Un. So if something happened to Kim Jong Un right now, before his daughter becomes an adult, then it is very likely that Kim Yo-jong will take over that leadership.
Yoon-suk, thank you so much for that update. CNA's Lim Yoon-suk in Seoul on the possible father-daughter succession across the border in North Korea.